What's this?
What is what? He asked you a question. What is that?
We come in peace. We come in peace. We come.
He says it is a government psyop and we should destroy it.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. Are we currently experiencing an alien attack in America? Well, certainly on our southern border, that is undisputed. But on our northern border, the U.S. military shot down its fourth UFO this weekend. What the hell's going on? All these UFOs are different shapes and sizes, and nobody's quite sure where they're coming from. You had the Chinese spy balloon, then you had a shoot down over Alaska, then you had a shoot down over the Yukon Territory in Canada, apparently a metallic cylindrical balloon, and then you had an octagonal shaped object that was shot down in Michigan this weekend. The general in charge of NORAD was asked point blank, hey, are these from space?
You ruled out aliens or extraterrestrials, and if so, why? Because that is what everyone is asking us right now.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Helene. I'll let the intel community and the counterintelligence community figure that out. I haven't ruled out anything at this point. We continue to assess every threat or potential threat unknown that approaches North America with an attempt to identify it.
So it could be aliens. So you're saying there's a chance. Well, this afternoon at the White House, John Kirby, Pentagon spokesperson, said, no, there is no chance.
I don't think the American people need to worry about aliens with respect to these craft, period. I don't think there's any more that needs to be said there.
On the Russia-Ukraine war.
I don't think America needs to worry about aliens, not on our southern border. Those illegal aliens are welcome. Bring us to your leader, unless it's in Martha's Vineyard. But the aliens on the spacecraft, well, you don't have to worry about them. Karine Jean-Pierre, of course, bumbling, stumbling, ass backwards into saying this.
And make sure we address this from the White House. I know there's been questions and concerns about this, but there is no indication of aliens or extraterrestrial activity with these recent takedowns. Again, there is no indication of aliens or terrestrial activity.
Okay, so she did the meme. according to Twitter, she did the meme. Yes, but it's actually beautiful, right? Aliens. Yes. All right. Well, people are talking about aliens. In fact, by saying space aliens and by talking about extraterrestrials, what they're doing is they're sort of planting that in your mind. You'll know that that clip will go viral from the press dais, very powerful thing in the White House. Say, don't think about pink elephants. Don't think about pink elephants. And then what happens? You immediately start thinking about pink elephants. We're calling them objects, not balloons, for a reason. Pentagon refuses to rule out that objects flying over the U.S. are aliens or extraterrestrials after third UFO is shot down flying near sensitive military base. Now, the term Operation Bluebeam started trending this weekend after the U.S. military announced that it had been shooting down a considerable amount of UFOs all around America. Now, why did this term trend, and what is Operation Bluebeam? You can see here, ladies and gentlemen, that there is a considerable amount of U.S. airspace that was put under military watch right here and right here. Canadian airspace, U.S. airspace put under military watch because they were firing Sidewinder missiles here to bring down UFOs. So why was Operation Bluebeam trending? Well, what is Operation Bluebeam? And why do places like mythdetector.ge say that it is a conspiracy theory? What is it from? What is it about? Operation Bluebeam Project. According to the video, Bluebeam Project is a project by NASA and the United Nations using the strongest technologies, aims to spread a new religion on Earth and create various simulations in order to establish total control over people in a new world order. Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory that develops New World Order conspiracy. According to the conspiracy theorists, the process describes a blue beam theory. The steps necessary to create the New World Order. Bluebeam theorists say NASA and the UN have begun to produce highly advanced technology. Using this technology, the entire Earth will see a simulation in the sky that would be created using satellites located at different locations around Earth. And the conspiracy goes, using this method, in cooperation with the Antichrist, the simulation of the Second Coming will be created, and all humans on Earth will be united in a single religion under the framework. This is a way of establishing total control. They trace this back to a Canadian investigative journalist, and they also trace it back to a Star Trek episode from Gene Roddenberry in the Star Trek franchise. Roddenberry's screenplay, aliens try and invade Earth and initially send religious leaders created via technological simulation to Earth in the aims of shattering the faith of the people. So Operation Blue Beam is about essentially a fake projection that is controlled technologically by the deep state and by the intelligence community, and it causes all people to be, to be shook. And then it allows people to be controlled because they're controlled out of fear, and then they'll do anything you want. What would they project? Would they project religious figures like the returned Christ, or would they project aliens? Well, one of the most alien-looking individuals with very alien ideas inside of our chattering class is a man named Paul Krugman, a sad midget economist at the New York Times who has the worst ideas imaginable, doesn't like the human race, and often talks about how controlled people could become if we just faked an alien invasion.
If we discovered that space aliens were planning to attack, and we needed a massive buildup to counter the space alien threat, and really inflation and budget deficits took secondary place to that, this slump would be over in 18 months. And then if we discovered, whoops, we made a mistake, there aren't actually any space
So we need
aliens,
Orson
we'd
Welles,
be a better,
what you're saying.
No, there was a Twilight Zone episode like this in which scientists fake an alien threat in order to achieve world peace.
Serious proposal, which is that we have to get a bunch of scientists to tell us that we're facing a threatened alien invasion. And in order to be prepared for that alien invasion, we have to do things like build high-speed rail and
Okay, so you get the Green New Deal, right? Like you're able to get all of your wish list government spending items, and you're able to blow out the national debt, and you're able to spend forever and ever and ever on military advancement as long as you have a perceived threat, and as long as that threat is able to be manufactured in a way that people think that there is an alien invasion. Interestingly enough, it's not just Paul Krugman of the extreme left who had this idea, also Ronald Reagan at the United Nations.
The moment. We often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
So, okay, maybe this was just the lofty rhetoric of Ronald Reagan. Clearly, the military doesn't have weapons that could project God on the sky. The Voice of God weapon returns from Wired. The Voice of God weapon, a device that projects voices into your head, make you think that God is speaking to you, is the military's equivalent of an urban myth, meaning it's mentioned periodically at defense workshops. Ironically, ladies and gentlemen, this thing actually exists. The Voice of God is a weapon that had been developed, according to this article, a government workshop some time ago. I heard someone describe a new tool, the Voice of Allah. This was said to be the device that would operate at a distance and would deliver a message that only a single person could hear. The story was that it was tested in conflict situations in Iraq and pointed at insurgent groups who would whip around looking in all directions and began heated conversations with the compatriots who did not hear the message. At the same time, this was greeted with some skepticism. So is this real? Is there any basis for this technology? The Holisonic Research Lab, the American Technological Corporation, both have versions of directed sound, which can allow a single person to hear a message and that others around them do not hear. DARPA appears to be working on its own sonic projector. Intriguingly, Strategy Page reports that troops are using long-range acoustic devices as modified Voice of God weapon. Okay. So that's at least interesting here from Wired. Let's bump over to Forbes here. Heat Ray and Voice of God. My experience with the non-lethal weapons eyed for use in DC protests. So this article from the year 2020 is talking about LRADs and ADS. What is that? During the summer disturbances in Washington, D.C., top military police and the D.C. National Guard thought about deploying two military systems that seem to come out of science fiction. One is called the Active Denial System. makes the target's skin feel like it's on fire. The other is called a long-range acoustic device, directs intense sound in a narrow cone, and the sound is so clear and so powerful that it's nicknamed the voice of God. I encountered both systems at Quantico, Virginia, and the other in Fallujah, Iraq. Huh? What? Harkening back to a very old Washington Post article here, when seeing and hearing isn't believing. So digital morphing voice and video has come of age in the use of psychological operations, writes the Washington Post. Being able to manufacture convincing audio and video, they say, might be the difference to a successful military operation or coup. Pentagon planners started to discuss the digital morphing of Iraq's invasion in Kuwait in 1990. Covert operators kicked around the idea of creating a computer-faked videotape of Saddam Hussein crying or in a compromising position, and then flooding those tapes around the Arab world. The tape was never preceded, killed, participants say, by the bureaucratic fights over jurisdiction, skepticism, and technology, the concerns raised by the Arab coalition partners. But the strategic psyops scheming wouldn't die. What if the U.S. projected a holographic image of Allah floating over Baghdad, urging the Iraqi people in the army to rise up against Saddam Hussein? Huh? So here in the debunked conspiracy theory, the military will project a godlike figure from space using satellites run by NASA and the military. And then, according to the Washington Post, the military is talking about projecting Allah over Baghdad during war. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, why are they talking about UFOs so very much at this current moment? Why aren't we talking about Joe Biden's classified document scandal or Hunter Biden's laptop? What's going on? Why is the New York Times altering stories about UFOs? So the New York Times essentially putting in and then scrubbing UFO terminology inside of their reporting on this. CNN doing the exact same thing, winking and poking and saying, these may or may not be UFOs.
Interesting. This is kind of unusual that these pilots saw different things, and that is sort of, I guess, adding to the mystery of all this.
Yeah, not even the pilots apparently were really able to identify what they saw. And just to take you back for a sec, on Thursday, the U.S. defense officials sent F-35 fighter jets up to try to figure out what this object was that was flying around near Alaska. Those pilots, we have learned, have given very conflicting accounts of what they actually experienced, with some pilots saying that the object interfered with the plane's sensors, other pilots saying that they didn't really experience that, other pilots saying that when they looked at the object, they could identify no identifiable propulsion system, and they did not know how it was actually staying in the air.
Oh, we don't know what the propulsion system is. We're not sure. It could be aliens. Yeah, okay, ladies and gentlemen. You know, like, what exactly is the timeline between conspiracy theory and proven fact at this point? And would the government go as far as to distract all of us by lying and trying to distract us? Well, if you've ever researched the Gulf of Tonkin, a fake, made-up attack on American warships that kicked off the Vietnam War, you know the answer. I want to thank Mark Dice, who's a great YouTube channel, for sort of educating me this morning, watching a little bit about this. It caused me to do my own research and try and find out what Project Bluebeam is. The same people are saying it's all fake. Well, what articles do we have here? We have articles from the Washington Post, Forbes, and Wired talking about these voice of God weapons. I don't know, man. Weird. It seems in conflict. What do you think? The government clearly thinks it's God. So why wouldn't they use a voice of God weapon? Why wouldn't they do anything to get full power and control over you, to try and get you to abandon your faith, your religion, what you think is true? The other thing that we know is that we still fight for America, and we are proud to fight right alongside with you. My name is Benny Johnson. See ya. Hello, dear viewer, and welcome to our Rumble channel. If you're a communist, you can go ahead and click away right now. You're not going to like the rest of this video. But if you're a based patriot or just an open-minded leftist or somebody who cares about this country and doesn't want to see it destroyed by communists, well, you are in the right place. This channel we are so excited about because it is where free speech lives. Rumble is it. We love this community, we love growing this community, and we want you to subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. Click click that little Rumble link and leave comments. We love growing this community because this is the community that can save America. Isn't that why we're all here? That's why I'm here, and it's why you're going to see live videos from me every single day. It's why you're going to see breaking news on this channel. You're going to see direct-to-camera videos, Rumble-exclusive content, and, of course, your boy Benny, some based memes. We want to deliver you the news, and that's what we're going to do every single day on this channel. We encourage you, please, to subscribe, and let's keep America free. Stay free out there. Rumble.com.